Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate all y'all for tuning in right now. You see what's going on with the situation with Coach Prime and Jackson State. It was a heartbreaking loss, a heartbreaking defeat that we must discuss. We must discuss this heartbreaker in totality. I'm telling you, it was a big major drop. It was a lot of major nasty stuff that went on. But bottom line is North Carolina Central University has walked away with the HBCU national title. And now it's time to break everything down. Coach Prime did not finish the mission like they would have liked. Unfortunately, we all know what the plan was. It was to keep the main thing. But damn, it's so much to talk about. We got to discuss Shadon Sanders and his heroics. You had Roger Goodell in attendance. I mean, we're gonna break it down from the top. This was an electrifying game, point blank, period. We must point that out. So nobody got shortchanged when it came to that aspect. This game came straight to the wire. And now let's break it down. We got my man Nico Savage in the house and my man Phonics. It's Flight Sports TV. Let's talk.
Yo, what up, people? Yo, I'm just so happy that Deion Sanders lost. Never mind the prime time. I'm so happy they went down.
Oh, damn.
Both teams were playing poor defense. That's why they kept scoring like that. You know what I'm saying? That's usually the case. Shadon Sanders, he's not the truth. He will be exposed at the next level, which is D1. You know what I'm saying? And the reason is this. Deion Sanders could have built a great legacy had he stayed. You know what I'm saying? And you took a BS job with Colorado just to be in Division I. You should have stayed with Jackson State. I'm glad your legacy is tarnished now. And, go ahead and move on and get those losses out the way in Colorado. He's not winning anything in Colorado, period. And his name is Deion Sanders. Let's stop with the whole prime time. That was when he played. He's not a player anymore. He's a coach. His name is Deion Sanders.
Well, listen, that was a crazy day. Coach, Nico Savage, what the hell did we just witness, man? Because like I said, there's going to be a section of people happy that Coach Prime did lose. We can't act stupid like there's not a sector of people, going out to dinner tonight behind this loss. Nico, what's the deal?
I'll say this, right? It wouldn't have been a loss if the defense came to play and if I don't want to point out a specific color of the tight end, but if that one guy had went ahead and caught that pass to put them into a tie game and to play defense again to potentially get a stop for them to win the game, and they didn't get the chance to. Shador is him. That's where I'm a battle Phonics. Shador is him. He played a hell of a game. I don't think he threw one. I don't think he threw an interception or anything. He threw little to no. He threw little to no incompletions either. He came out there and played a wonderful game. He took a few sacks that were unnecessary, but overall, he played a great game. It's only so much you can do. It's a reason they're leaving. I'll leave it with that.
It was just great seeing them lose. Again, like I said, there is no reason for you to leave when you can build a great legacy and more people will come behind you. Come on, let's just be honest right now. Nobody would have watched that Jackson State game if Deion wasn't coaching. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would have paid attention to them for the last 2 years if it wasn't for Deion. and to go and to run into the Division One. You know what I'm saying? Just because you want this opportunity, alleged opportunity, I just think it's a smack in the face, man. You know, and I'm very happy that he lost. I'm glad his sons lost. You know, that other one, he's wearing Deion's number 21. He need to turn it around. We're 12 or something. You are not. You are a poor defensive player. Poor defensive player. And he needs to stay. And he needs to stay at Jackson State. He's
You
definitely
talking
going
about
to be used to the
Travis?
next level.
Look, Shador. I'm gonna say Shiloh. My fault, Shiloh.
Shiloh Sanders. That's what I'm talking about. He does not need to wear his father's number. He needs to take that off or wear number 12. Turn it around. You ain't that Sanders, buddy. You're not. Period. You can't cover nobody. Couldn't cover somebody in a phone booth.
I think the entire defense had a bad day. It's not one person on the defense that had a good day. Not even Travis. And I would say this: the biggest issue that Prime has had since he's got there is we know the game is won in the trenches, and pretty much nobody's line was dominant except for the team that won. Their line got a push whenever they needed it. Jackson State's did not. I thought they would have a good day on the ground. Then Jackson State, I thought would have a good day on the ground, but their line couldn't get much push. They did pass protect decently, but I think that's ultimately where they lost the game too. Their run game was ineffective.
Extremely ineffective. Extremely. And again, like I said, if you are not, the reason they was putting up on both sides, they was putting up that many points. I ain't gonna say just Jackson State's defense was subpar. So was North Carolina Central. And that's something that when he gets to the next level, Deion gonna have to work on. Hell, I just seen Colorado allowed the most points, last in the FBS, allowed 44 points per game this season. He has a lot to fix. I actually think he shouldn't even coach this game. They should have let the new coach this game. He should. If you left the program, go ahead and go.
Shout out to AB the hero, the legend. Make sure y'all go subscribe. He said the big question is, was Jackson State distracted? Hey man, I think that's a major question that we must discuss. You know, because I think that's serious in my humble opinion. I pose that question to you guys because you got to understand something. You had the big time media run. It was something retarded. We got to understand something. We can't act like, you know, the media just wasn't dominating everything. Jackson State, Coach Prime on the way out the door. He's taking dogs with him. Was their mind on the game? The Coach Prime did not elect to move on to Colorado. Would they have dominated this game tonight? Not only won, would they have dominated? I mean, right from kickoff, you knew this was going to be a football game. You know, so I want to ask y'all, and that's a hell of a question from AB. Was Jackson State distracted? Please talk to me.
I don't think that's a question. I think that's an excuse. But go ahead, Nico.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I don't think that they were distracted. They already knew what it was. Like, they had a lot of the time. I mean, let's say this. We already know that well-off media is blowing up. Everybody's watching it. So everybody's seeing what's going on. But I don't think this is a level of distraction that contributed to this loss. They played very well. The defenses, of course, were bad on both sides. But I mean, it's college. I don't expect them to be that great. The game really came down to it came down to a drop pass at the goal line. No distraction is the reason that happened.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, nigga. You're absolutely right. We acting like they got blown out or something. I mean, they went to overtime. I mean, you know, Shador got them back in the game with that last pass. You know what I'm saying? Basically a Hail Mary in the end zone. So, you know what I'm saying? They played their best. I mean, they got to overtime. It was competitive. It was one drop pass. However, I just believe that Deion shouldn't even coach that game. He should have let the new coach come in and do that. Even though you got him up to that point, you shouldn't have. I don't think he should have announced before the season was over that he was going to Colorado. He knows the attention that he garners. So I question the motives of that. You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? If it gets leaked, it gets leaked. You can still deny it until the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we can possibly rule out that it wasn't on a lot of players' minds because they thinking, man, we ain't gonna never get here again. You know what I'm saying? The freshmen, the sophomores, you know, they got some more years left to play there. You know, so like I said, big shout out to North Carolina Central. They're the kings of HBCUs. I'm glad they beat Jackson State. What a great way to go out with a loss. And the losses will continue at Colorado. That's all I gotta say.
Realistically, because like I said, like a lot of, like I stated, people are happy. Will this translate to Colorado, or will he shake this off? And what happened with what's going on with Jackson State? Bottom line is that was a massive drop. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, that tight end who never really does much. I at least get the touch, right there. Shador did his job. You understand? We could sit up here and talk all the nonsense in the world. Shador Sanders hit this guy with an electrifying dart. Actually like a little duck. Let me say it like that. And it dropped right in his hands. You got to grab that. What I mean? I mean, seriously, that was a big time blow. If he catches that pass, we are having a completely different discussion tonight. Point blank, period. I mean, that's the only thing that disgusts me, is that one play can change the game, but that's football, but it was many other plays that led up to that too. You don't just get into a dead set game like that off one play. Bottom line is they ran into a formidable opponent who was ready. The North Carolina Central established the run early. They protected their quarterback. Their quarterback was electric. I mean, they surprised the hell out of me. So I want to get into that as well. Nico, what's your thoughts on the quarterback play from North Carolina Central?
I think that, I heard the early game analysis where they said it was very strong. He can bench press. He breaks the arm tackles. And he did exactly that all game. Literally. He broke every arm tackle. He was running through guys, and he made the throws when it mattered. But for the most part, they stuck to the run game. And that's where I don't really account the defense for being bad, because if your run game is winning and working like that, that just means that you're stout up front. And they had the bigger boys, the bigger, more experienced guys, and it showed because they ran the ball down their damn throat. Literally. For the game. They didn't have to pass at that point when you can just keep running the ball.
Your boy was looking like Vic out there.
Yeah, when you got a guy ripping off, when you got a running back, quarterback, I think it was 2 running backs, and a quarterback ripping off 5 to 10 yards of run, you don't have to pass anymore. It only takes 2 5-yard runs for a first down. They threw a couple screen passes in the middle of the game. They just did a lot of things that were small, but it was very easy to execute, and they ran through arm tackles. I'll say this, Jackson State did come out with some poor tackling. That's probably the biggest thing for them. Nobody was wrapping up and really, tackling with intent.
Man, like I said, one play didn't get you here, but my man Nico, Shador Sanders did prove something. I mean, seriously, this dude proved that he's a legit NFL quarterback. In my humble opinion, he got farrelled today by that play. How big was that drop? By that tight end.
That drop is very painful. It's definitely it was tear jerking. Yes, it's tear jerking even for the people watching, because that he's not going to be able to live that moment down. For one, he's also a white tight end at HBCU. He's going to get slandered in so many different ways, and he just knows that he's a better player than that, even if he didn't get a lot of burn all season. It was right there for him to be a hero, and we all don't get that hero story.
No, we don't. Shador Sanders, before we go back to what happened with that drop, let's talk about what Shador Sanders did to even get their ass in overtime. That was an amazing play. Trusting Travis Hunter in that moment, in the fourth quarter. When everybody thought it was doom and gloom, you had North Carolina Central University, the whole damn team taking the field, you understand? And like I said, it's damn near like they huddled up in congregation, licking their chops, thinking the game was over. And Shador Sanders looked them dead in the eye and sent this game to overtime. I mean, you talk about ice water. I mean, seriously. And then came back and was going to do it again. I mean, we got to pay the utmost homage. This is disrespectful.
Why do you always pay homage to subpar players? And I'm going to revoke your football card. Don't you ever? He's not NFL material. Yo, he about to go play with the big boys. Let's see what he got when he go play with, you know what I'm saying, with the Pac-12 against USC with Caleb Williams, who just won the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's coming back for another campaign. You got UCLA on the come up. You got Boise State. He is in trouble, and his dad is in trouble. They're in big trouble, man. Deion is not the big dog in that spectrum of college football. That belongs to St. Nick. That belongs to Dabo Sweeney, Ryan Day, Harbaugh out here in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? He's in trouble, bro. So, yo, let's keep it up. Let's keep hyping him, though. Because, I like doing that on Fight Sports TV because we hype them, and then what happens? I get blocked. I get kicked off. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. Every time you boo somebody else, what do they turn out to be? You know.
We joined right now by my dad, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I know I'm a little raspy right now, but when it comes to Shador, I will say again, I think he's him. I was on Hoop Jargon channel saying that he reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. He might not to most people, but I think that he has that potential. I would take Shador over Ryan Tannehill right now for the Titans.
What?
Get Ryan Tannehill the fuck up out of here and get the F up out of here and get Shador Sanders. I'm taking
Y'all
Shador right now.
Y'all fanboys at his best, man. That was mediocre. That was
Thank you, Wody.
I mean, really I'm not even a fanboy. I just know what a good quarterback looks like.
I disagree.
That last throw was a Hail Mary.
Right.
And it was right where it was supposed to be.
That was more of the wide receiver, that dude Travis Hunter, than anybody. Like
he threw it back shoulder.
I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do in that situation?
Man,
you talking about to play in the fourth quarter.
He did a one-step drop back shoulder throw, and it was perfect. Nobody could get it but the receiver. You had a good receiver for that situation.
But one thing I can see, the offense is designed for him to look good. And what I mean by that is, you know what lost the game for? They can't run the ball.
Yes.
I watched the whole game. Like, it's designed for him to look good. But with that game, when you play like that with the big boys in the Power 5, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, man. That's not gonna work, man. That offense designed for him to look good. Like, you got a bum running back there. Like, he couldn't even get 3 yards. To put him in there, you got to throw the ball to get it. Although the Caucasian guy missed the pass, but man, you ain't even supposed to. If your running back can't get you 3 yards, bro, and you had it on 1st and 10, first and goal, within 3 yards, and you couldn't get 3 yards, man, come on, man. I want him to win. I'm so upset.
I'll say this, right? When it comes to the running game, their line is not it. They're solid. And I'll say this, Wilkerson is probably one of his worst games because he didn't run through the tackles we're used to him running through.
Man, that's not true. That's not true, Nico, because if anybody know, pass blocking is harder than run blocking, which meaning the players he got that play the line, that's playing on the line, they just practice to pass. They don't practice run blocking. You could see that.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say
pass blocking. I know this from football. Passing blocking is more harder than run blocking. Running blocking, all you doing is opening a hole. Pass blocking, you got to hold a defender, which means you could get a hole or anything. So that's not no excuse. It's the offense. The offense designed around him to look good. But do that offense produce wins with that? Nah. They can't even hold the ball.
Well, I'll say this from line perspective, pass blocking is easy when you have a good quarterback. When you have a guy that can either get her out the pocket really quickly or release the ball, you don't have to pass block for long. So it's only difficult when you got a guy that doesn't get rid of the ball. Shador is not someone that's overly holding on to the ball.
What you mean? He took you lying, you're capping. He took a sack that almost hurt him. What you talking about? Where he could have threw the ball away.
Yes, but that's a small percentage. It's not something he does often.
You mean that's bad decision making based off the time that they had left on the clock.
I mean, it's football. You're not gonna make every play perfect.
Man, but not at that time.
In most cases,
I'm not saying the dude trash, but what I'm saying is when he move up to the next level, those are things he gonna have to fix. Y'all can glorify him or whatever with that, but he's going to Colorado. He's not going to no USC or nothing. He's going to Colorado.
Exactly.
Well, he get rid of the ball. And he did that all game except for a few plays, which is why he played so well and why
Man, that was a good breakdown, Sky. You didn't come up as a hater. You broke it down. I didn't know Sky. Sky knows some football.
Yeah, he do. And I'll say this, right? Shador made a few bad plays down the stretch, but he made more good than bad. And that's all you can ask for from your quarterback.
But like, it's not about being a hater. He's just going. He's going to Power 5 when there's better competition. There's just better. It's just a fact. Those schools get the blue chip players, man. They're not getting no anybody. I'm just sorry they're not.
And I'm gonna give you a prime example of what Finey saying and I'm saying, right? We all know if that was Power 5, that dude Travis Hunter getting doubled. He ain't gonna even be on no one-on-one, so he gonna have to go somewhere else. Like, I'm looking at that like, how y'all see number 12 out there and y'all don't double him? If it's anything, I'm gonna let anybody else beat me. I'm not about to let him. We know where he going. Like, I knew where he was going. Like, and I'm watching this like, oh,
he tried to go there before.
Exactly. So from that perspective, like, the coaching slipped up. We're to say, all right, because we're in a win situation. So even if they do scope, we're not gonna let him scope. If he do scope, we're gonna double him. So we're gonna force him. We're gonna force Shador to make another play with another player. Now with him, basically what they did the last play on 3rd and 3. They took away number 3, where they knew he was trying to go to the running back, and they made him throw it to the dude who missed the pass. If you pay attention to number 3, he had 2 players on him. That's why the white ball was over. He was forced to throw to him. You good as your wide receivers as at quarterback. And with no run game, that's even worse.
That's why the passing performance was so amazing. He literally did it all with no run game. Also kept him in the game.
What I'm trying to tell you, that the offense designed for him to look good. If you don't got no run game, look, it's more like who? Let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Why Pat Mahomes look?
Can I ask you something?
Why Pat Mahomes look so good? Because they don't have no running game.
Yeah, but they run here and there. But look, I'll ask you.
They don't, man. Look at them people's stats, man. I bet on them games, man. Them people running with about 3 different running backs, man.
Hell, they turn the runners into catchers. They turn the runners into catchers.
Yeah,
they turn the runners into catches.
His stats be high because all they doing is throwing the ball. They don't even have a line.
That's more of a Justin Herbert problem.
Man, the point I'm getting at is they don't even have a line built for the run game. Like, they got to get those scat backs, running backs. Basically, that's what number 3 is for Jackson State. He is scat back. He not no running back where they're gonna line him up in the backfield and run him. He gonna catch it out the backfield and run. That's based off of offense design. Now, for a while, once you play against a team that know how to pound that ball like they did today, that's the results you're gonna get. And the people beat up, and to be honest with you, y'all making it seem like it was like a walkover. The people really beat them the whole game. If you look at it, the 2 times they scored, that was on busted plays. The 2 touchdowns they scored. Them people actually was getting the ball and driving downfield, like putting plays together. That's how I knew they was going to lose in overtime. They never could put plays together unless they get a busted play. Even the one Travis Hunter caught, that was a busted play, busted coverage. You're supposed to have 2 people on him. The one when Lloyd caught it in the first quarter and the score went up 7-3. That was a busted play up the middle. Every time they scored, it was a busted play. It never was. They got the ball at the 10 and drove down and scored. Never. None of that game. It always was busted plays.
I mean, he's a great improviser. That's part of what makes him great. And I would agree with you saying that the offense is designed for him to look great. I think any offense on earth would like the quarterback to look great in it. But in this situation, Jackson State has run the ball a lot all year. Savion Wilkerson isn't some guy that only got 100 carries. He has 200 plus carries on the season, 1,000 plus yards. And he's not the only running back that runs the ball.
But check this out. I get where you coming from. All that sound good. But we talking about swag, right? He ran the ball good in the swag. But we can't forget that Jackson State had the most 4-stars and 5-star players in their team out the whole swag.
mean, that's what happened when you recruit.
So they playing against 2 stars and 1 stars. So what are you supposed to do?
I mean, you're supposed to do anything, but football at the end of the day is football.
None of them. What I'm saying is, none of them dudes beefed up in a swag like that team. That team had a big line. Like they wasn't no small swag, and they manipulated the game, which could have been a manipulated game. Everybody talking about, oh, they was 12-0, right? But y'all forgot he turned down that game against Alabama.
For sure.
So all he did was ran through the swag. That's all he did. Now, once he played outside the SWAC, they took an L. So you can't determine how good your team really is until you play somebody out your conference. They've been running through the people in their conference all year, since last year. So we already knew what we was gonna get. Let's play somebody out the conference and see what you get. Now they didn't play somebody out their conference, and they got the L to show that they're not really that good.
I mean, they lost off one play.
Man, that's not no one play, man. You got to understand, man. I call a speed a speed. I wanted Jackson State to win. I looked at that game, man. Them people got beat the whole game. The refs bailed them out a lot of times too. They got
refs is definitely on their side.
When you look at who had the most momentum that whole game, bro, it never was Jackson State. The people scored down there every time they touched the ball, starting from like the 10 and 15 yard line.
Yeah, they had a dominant run game.
They stayed in the game based off of big plays, which couldn't help them down the stretch.
I mean, they didn't need it. All they needed was one guy to catch the ball on the 1 yard line, or somebody to run the ball in who was unable to.
How many times that
I partially disagree with that.
What
Nico said. I partially disagree with that because you made a great point, Scott. If you look at it on paper, Jackson State is the most talented team. Now, I do agree that football is football and it's any given Saturday and any given Sunday. But based on paper, Jackson State is the most talented football team. And it showed that in some aspects with Travis Hunter making plays against probably a 0-star cornerback. But the simple fact is that Jackson State did not come to play. They made mistakes. Their offensive line didn't show up as far as run blocking because they usually are more consistent at running the football. They didn't show up today. The defense, which was great in the SWAC, didn't show up today at all. You got Shiloh Sanders act like he don't know how to play defense no more. Travis Hunter did his thing, but it's like the other players on the team, they just didn't show up. They getting ran through and ran over. Can't stop the read option. Hold on. Can't stop the read option. Quarterback was killing them all day with the read option. Running back gutting them. Catching them basically 8 to 10 yards a pop. It's not. The thing is, though, Deion laid the foundation and put it out there for them. The team just didn't show up to play today. And that's all it is to it. Shout out to Shador. Shador showed out. Shout out to Travis Hunter. He showed out. Shout out to Coleman. He showed out. Shout out to Hooks. He played good too. But that defense was atrocious. That run game was atrocious. Wilkinson is good. Hold on. Wilkinson is good, but the offensive line ain't show up. But I agree that on paper, Jackson State
it's getting hot, y'all.
Jackson State should have won the football game on paper.
But we got to be honest, though. Like I tell everybody, though, you started saying the defense ain't coming to show up. The defense showed up against mediocre people. The team that they played in the SWAC, all them teams mediocre, man. Come on, man. Southern.
I'm not saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen.
Southern.
I'm not saying.
Southern lost to like 2-3 games, bro, and made it to the SWAC championship. That's who they played for the SWAC championship, bro.
All right.
You saw what LSU did, Southern?
Yeah. I mean, LSU, but
no, I'm LSU, not comparing. No, I'm not comparing the two.
See, that's a bad comparison.
No, that's not. Look.
It is a bad comparison. You talking about LSU, dog?
No. That's what I mean. It's a bad comparison. I'm just showing you how bad they is.
I mean, dog, you're talking about FCS school.
No,
in the SEC, man.
You ain't getting what I'm saying. We know I'm not coming in here saying LSU. I mean,
I can't. Scott, I can't give you that one, man.
No, you ain't getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is everybody.
That's a bad comparison.
No, it's not.
No, Scott, that's a bad comparison to show the difference level between the MEAC and the SWAC. That's a bad comparison.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying the MEAC.
Just stick to the.
You taking it wrong.
Scott, just stick to the point.
The point. All right, I'm about to tell you.
On defense, did not play great.
The point I'm getting at is
showed out and they played great. That's
man.
What it is.
The point I'm getting at is with that whole situation, if they able to make it to the SWAC championship, how bad the other teams is. That's all I'm getting at. That mean if they made it to the SWAC championship, Southern was the second best team in the SWAC.
And how many losses they had?
They beat down Southern.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm getting at. They didn't run into no real competition tonight. So you basing the #1 ranking off for what? Everything beneath you. That's all I'm saying. So we saying, oh, the defense ain't come to play. Nah, the defense never played nobody. That's the point I'm getting at. They never played a quality team.
See, now that makes sense. Don't throw in that FCS school. That makes more sense in a logical argument, Scott.
That's the point I'm getting at, though.
No, the point you got at.
The point I'm getting at is the people terrible.
The point basically is that you're making is that the SWAC basically is not of a great level of competition compared to the MEAC because Jackson State didn't play nobody.
They lost last year in the title. In the title game. Dad, I'm sorry, my God.
Don't throw in a FCS school like LSU, dog. Don't do that. That's a bad argument because LSU is top dog, man. It's a top dog school. They get top tier talent, man. Don't do that.
But what you talking about, man? Them people had 40 points in the first quarter with 6 minutes left.
Scott,
that bad?
That bad? Scott, I'm not arguing the point that the MEAC might not be possibly is superior to the SWAC. That's not my argument. There's logical evidence that can probably prove that. But the point is that don't throw in an FCS school. That's my argument.
Man, all I'm saying is, man, everybody that went with Jackson State was tricked off the hype. And what I mean by tricked off the hype.
They wasn't tricked off the hype.
Man, you was, man. Them people not good, man. Them people not good, man. They showed today, man. Them people not good, man. You could say 1 play, 2 play. Them people got whooped the whole game. Every time they scored was off talent plays, big plays. Every time. Look, go back and watch the game.
I watched the whole game, bro. I saw the game.
So you trying to tell me every time they scored, they drove the ball? Was it big plays?
They drove the ball several times down the field and scored.
Tell me which ones I can tell you every time they scored.
Tell me, Sky.
You sure you want to know? Remember the first. Remember when score was 3-0. The busting coverage with the 7, right?
That was the busting coverage. That's not Jackson. That's not Jackson State fault. That's Central.
That's not. But what I'm saying is he don't catch that. They don't score.
That is Central fault. That's Central fault. That ain't Jackson State.
I'm saying. So when you looked at that team, you ever thought Jackson State was gonna win?
I had confidence that he could pull it out.
Nah, that's why you're in the position you in now. You a loser. When I saw that, I knew they were gonna lose.
How you gonna call me a loser because I was rooting for Jackson State? I'm a big Deion.
No. See, I'm not saying that, man. I was rooting. Look, I went to a swag. Look, hold on. I went to a swag school. I was rooting for them too.
How you gonna call me a loser? No, because of the fact that I was.
I'm not calling you a loser in that way. What I'm saying is,
if they lost, Scott, they lost, man. This is in a discussion, dog.
I'm not saying. Look, are you taking it personal when I say a loser? I'm not saying you a loser like you a loser. What I'm saying is you making losing decisions when you see something. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna put it to you like this.
How you gonna tell me who to cheer for?
I'm not telling you who to cheer for. I was with Jackson State too. That's what I'm telling you. I went to Southern. I went to SWAC. I was disappointed based off of what they selling and what they
Did you really go to Southern, Sky?
Man, I graduated from Southern, man. You ain't see
Oh,
on the case yet? Huh?
I don't think I've seen it. I have to double look. Maybe you gotta set something up so I can get a 2020 look on it.
Yeah, man. So, like I was upset too. I'm looking at the game like, oh damn, this offense built around his son. Man, you can't win like that, man. You can't win like that.
I mean, it got them that far. They just didn't come through. That's what it is, man.
How many times that dude got targeted this year? Flight, look and see how many times that boy got targeted that missed that pass.
It don't matter how many times that boy get targeted. What it matters is that you show up in games when your number is called. That's what matters. He didn't make the play. And at the end of the discussion, he didn't make the play. Jackson State lost. End of discussion, man.
Yeah, Jackson State lost. You ain't got to worry about it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Scott got some arguments here, and like I said, he said he makes a legitimate point.
I'm not denying his arguments. Like the offense not built around the sun. It is, but Shador Sanders is good.
I'm not saying he's not good, man. I say he's mediocre, man.
That boy good, man.
Good in what way?
Good as in a good quarterback. What are you talking about, man? Good in what way? He was a 4-star coming out of high school.
Stars don't mean nothing, dog.
Shit.
That don't mean nothing. That's based off camps. That's based off of camps you go to. That don't mean nothing. That's based off camps.
That's not based off of camp. That's based off of camps as well as your production on the field in high school, which he played in big dog football in Texas. Come on, man. Stop that argument, dog. He won two championships. He won two state championships in Texas.
All I can say is
I think he's either 5A or 6A football, big boy football. Come on, dog.
All I can say is next year. So you sitting up here telling me that other dude ain't ball out?
Who? I just said that Travis Hunter and all the other players.
Not Travis Hunter. I'm talking about on the other side. When I watch games, I watch both sides of the ball, not just one because I'm rooting for one. So you telling me that dude number 11 trash?
I think that was his number. I didn't say he was trash.
Man, that dude way better than him.
He's not better than better than Shador.
What? You saw some of the passes that dude was doing?
You saw some of the passes that Shador was making.
Man,
come on, man.
Man,
Shador had over 300 yards this game.
He had what?
He had over 300 yards this game.
Now let me show you something. Let me show you the difference. This is why I'm telling you where you can't use them numbers on me. Look and see what that other dude had.
He only had 177, dog.
And look at his rushing. You got to add both of them. Rushing, that in the team rushing. That's called balance. That's the win. I just told you the offense design around him. If they win, it look good for him.
All right. Sky, but still.
I just told you that. He going to have all those.
Shador still played great. Shador still played great, and Shador is still better than that other quarterback.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't have to think so. Then we agree to disagree.
I'm taking that other dude. I'm being honest.
All right, and that's fine. I accept that.
All right,
anything else?
Out of here.
Anything else, Scott?
No, I'm about to get out of here. You could keep running it. Ain't nothing else.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Good game by Jackson.
Yo, can you hear me?
Central came out on top. What's up? What's up, Rico?
Damn.
What's
I gotta go through my fucking phone. Damn, man. Can you hear me?
Whoa, Ronan, that's That's suspect right there.
Can you hear me, my God?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties with my my audio.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They've been having.
Sorry about that. But no,
Oh
this was
wow!
good.
Oh wow! Somebody
What up?
said that NCU quarterback is 27 years old.
And who you talking about? The quarterback for the other team tonight? He was
Richard.
electric. That's what I was telling people. I mean,
he was good. I mean,
they ran
he
the
was
football
good.
well too. They protected him.
He was good. You know, I mean, I mean personally, I just don't think he better than Shador. But because Shador has
you know, people gonna say that kind of talk. Now, you know how
yeah,
people
man,
do. They
because
like to pile it on. You know how it go.
Yeah, they're gonna say that because basically, some of the things like Shador can't control what happens with his defense, as well as Shador threw a perfect ball to that tight end. He just dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make that up. You can't make that up. That's just silly.
Man.
That's just cold blooded and silly.
Yeah, man. Like Shador can't play defense. Shador not out there playing defense. The defense was atrocious today. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, they played good all year. They get in there, play with them boys from Central. Them boys from Central whoop their behind, beat them up all game. They was cutting through them with that read option. They couldn't stop the read option.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. I should have said that.
So you know, what I mean, it's not on Shador. Shador played great. Like I said, Shador played great. Travis Hunter played great. Coleman played great. You know, and Hooker he played pretty good. But all that everything else, the running game wasn't good. And so they had to abandon the running game because they couldn't get no push up front. That defensive line from Central came to play. And then going the defense from, like I said, from Jackson State, man, they was just bad.
Yeah, the defense wasn't their best performance tonight. I think we all can agree with that, right?
Yeah, man, the defense was trash, man, for Jackson State, man. I mean, that was just
shout
bad,
out
Shiloh
Browns.
it's 3rd and 5. Dude just threw up a prayer. Shiloh gets a PI call, and they end up scoring on that damn drive because of a PI call. You know, just countless basically untimely penalties hurt Jackson State. Them not getting that second point, that extra point opportunity, the second point opportunity hurt them. That hurt. You know, they probably should just kick the field goal, but they tried to go for 2 and they didn't get it because the O-line didn't block. I mean, Shador can't go through his reads and get to where he need to go. The O-line don't block.
No, you're right.
As soon as Shador caught the ball, dude was already in his face. I'm like, bro, like how you snap the ball, dude already in your face, bro. That's crazy.
Should don't make no sense. It's all good. I'm just upset because I know if that drop didn't happen from the tight end, we having a completely different discussion. You know, I think we in here celebrating. I think Jackson State comes away with it. You know, it's heartbreaking. But Shador did his job, though. I don't think there should be a situation where people ridicule Shador Sanders, talk down on his name.
Nah, man. Shador did his thing, man. Shador, Travis Hunter, and Coleman. You know, they showed out, and you know they're going to Colorado when Deion goes. Of course, I mean that's a no-brainer. But everybody else, man, they probably gonna be staying, man. They're just not good enough, man. And it showed. Like I don't think personally, to be honest, I don't think Shiloh needs to go to Colorado. You know, Shiloh is his son, but Shiloh's not that good at safety. It's not that good.
Shador's the only one you think is ready?
Yeah, Shador is ready. Shiloh's not. Shiloh's not that good.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think Shiloh Shiloh's that good. I think Shador the one though.
Yeah, I could agree with that. You know, Shador definitely. I think Shador gonna surprise some people, man. Better protection.
Man, we
keep talking about. Go ahead.
Did you read a report that said that they actually got Shador as a favorite to win the Heisman next year?
I told, listen, I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
I got coworkers at my job told me they high as hell on Shador. They told me that Deion gonna make sure he get that Heisman. You know, I mean, and that's what I'm
He
saying. It's
gonna
like,
make Deion gonna make sure that his son goes
he
first
get in
round
position.
and get in position to go first round and get picked and be a top quarterback, which he's the prototypical quarterback. 6'2", like 6'2" and some change. He like 6'2" and some change, and can move. He ain't a stick back there. He can move around. He ain't the fastest, but he fast enough to be able to escape to get a first down, get out the pocket, make some good throws downfield. The prototypical quarterback that you want, able to get out the pocket, make some plays happen. And Shador is accurate. I mean, accurate. His ball, the way that he can place the football is impeccable. He is timely accurate. I mean, and he understands routes. He understands timing routes. He knows where to place the ball with his receivers. That's why that's why this game, Shador laid everything on the line. He did everything he was supposed to do to put his team in position to win. You know, some of his teammates just didn't live up to the bill. And that's all it was right there. Some of his teammates just didn't live up, which shows basically the level that Shador is going to, and some of the other players, unfortunately, are not going to be able to get to. Because Shador the one. Shador is the one. Shador can play. Like that boy can play. Travis Hunter, a freaking athletic nut, man. That dude, both sides of the football. No matter if it's corner, shutting down. I mean, I think he only allowed 3 catches for about 20 yards today. Probably less yards, probably like 15. Like easily top tier. And then playing wide receiver. Did you see that out and in he did? God, that jump was nasty. What? He hit the quarterback with a out in. Oh my God! Hit him with an outpost. Oh my God! Disgusting. So Travis the one too, and Coleman is good too. I like Coleman. That boy can fly, and he made some tough catches that game. So I think those three definitely is that luggage that Deion is going to be bringing into Colorado for sure.
I agree with that. I think Colorado, I think they're going to do big things there too. I mean, it might not be a home run, but it ain't going to be no dud. I think they're ready for it. They dominated. I heard Scott say they turned down a game with Alabama. How realistic was that for Jackson State to face off against Alabama?
They weren't. They didn't. Deion was right. They didn't need to play Alabama. They're not like it showed in today's game. They're not good enough up front, and it showed today because they couldn't make the plays they needed to make up front in the defensive line area. They're just not good enough. Same thing with the offensive line. The offensive line gave us some plays, gave us some key sacks. So they just weren't good enough up front on both sides of the football. So going against Alabama, which has for example, Alabama on defense, they got 4-star, 5-star players, man. One of them, which is Will Anderson, who's possibly going to be, he's going to be a top 10 pick in NFL draft this year. Come on, man. Nobody on the offensive line is blocking Will Anderson. Nobody. But that just goes to show that the difference level between the FBS and the FCS. That's just what it is.
I agree with that. That was a good point on that. This was crazy tonight. That I guess North Carolina Central University, they walking away happy today. What about the coach for North Carolina Central? What kind of job did he do tonight? I know we so caught up with Deion, but what about him? He was coaching tonight.
Yeah, but he coached a great game. They came up with a great game plan. They basically nullified that defense. They kept that defense on his heels. I mean, they couldn't do that with Shador, but Shador being Shador. But as far as their offense to be able to nullify that defense, they took advantage. They took advantage of their aggressiveness with screen plays. They took advantage of them with the read option, and that quarterback just made some good plays when it mattered most. And he's a big dude. I mean, he just every time he runs, he falls forward. And Jackson State, they did not want to tackle him or them running backs today. Did not want to tackle him at all. They just did not. They did not want to. They did not want to play defense today. I'll be honest with you. So that coach came out, an excellent game plan came out, nullified their defense, and whipped their ass, man. Straight whooped them up and down the field on offense. Their defense, Jackson State marched up and down their defense. Their defense may keep plays when they need the most, but the one that hurt Jackson State on offense was themselves, which was Shador's teammates. Because nothing had to do with Shador, it was Shador's teammates. Let him down. That's all that was. Let's be honest, man.
I agree with that. Shout out Clarence Kenny. He says, did NCCU gain 500 yards on offense? Could you imagine what North NDSU would do to them? What you think about that?
You talking about North Dakota State?
Yeah.
I mean North Dakota. I think North Dakota State is good. I think they'll. I think they might beat Central. North Dakota State is just a problem, man. As far as in the FCS, man, they're a problem. They're the only team that went undefeated before, so all the way through. So North Dakota State is just a problem, man.
You know what I don't like, and I want to ask you about this. We keep talking about everything that Shador may face, with Deion and them may face when they get to the next level. Not realizing they're gonna have better protection, better receivers. Like I said, why nobody discusses that?
Because, man, it's easy. Because the thing is, though, is that it's all about hateration. Folks just don't like it because Deion and Shador, it's not fitting in their plans and their molds, what they want to do. It's just basically folks. Some people just have some life and just evil spirits about them to where they're trying to project it upon someone else, because they don't fit their plans, or they're just hating on it because they wish they could do it. And, they're going to go to Colorado and they're going to do an excellent job, man. Whether it's basically being recruiting or it's going to be an excellent job with the field. And the office with Sean Lewis coming there, it's going to be fantastic, man. Sean Lewis is a great offensive coach. Kent State average the most points in the FBS. Average about what? What they average, like 50 points a game?
Say that one more time.
In Sean Lewis' offense, they average close to 50 points a game.
That's facts. That's high numbers.
So basically, so they're going to have offense. And with Shador and his intelligence, because he's a very intelligent player, with his accuracy and him be able to move the ball around, they're going to do a great job in putting people in space and taking advantage of them. Because what's going to happen is because peace be upon him. What's his name? Mike Leach. But that's where Sean Lewis learned the offense from. He learned it from Mike Leach. That spread you out offense. But Shador, with his accuracy and how he moves the ball downfield, yeah, that's going to be a problem. All you got to do is protect them. They got some big boys looking to come in and play from JUCO, such as that boy Lato. They got another boy from they got another boy from Kent State that's 6'9" that's coming. They done basically picked up a 6'8" offensive tackle. So they got a lot of players that's coming in, man. They got a lot of recruits, a lot of transfers that's coming into Colorado right now, man. Shoot, man. Like, if you want to keep up, just go to 247, and they'll keep you updated on everything that's going on at Colorado to know what players they're bringing in. Because they're bringing in, matter of fact, they got the number one player out of Nebraska who's basically, he's the number one player out of Nebraska. He's the number one athlete overall, and I think he's in the top 100 as far as player in the state. As far as player in the country. He's a 4-star. He's going, and he basically was doing his visit at Colorado this weekend. And more than likely, Deion, after he gets all his players settled, he's going to head out there. He's going to meet a lot of those recruits and transfers is basically there now. Man, Sky stay hating, man. Sky, why are you hating on Deion in Colorado, man? Sky, what is it, man? What do you get out of hating so much, dog? Yeah, definitely, Basil. RP to Mike Leach.
Now, rest in peace.
So But yeah, man, like man, I think he's gonna do wonders. I think he's gonna do wonders there, man.
What
So I
what
think
what assistant coaches are going? I mean, TC is staying. We definitely want to get into him, but what's your
nah, they
thoughts on the other
got
coaches that might be joining Deion?
I mean, the coaches. I mean, like I said, they got Sean Lewis. They got the defensive. They got a defensive coordinator from Alabama. The safeties coach. He's coming over there coaching the defense. So he's going to bring that Alabama type of tenacity to Colorado that they do on defense. So they're going to find players that fit that mold. Basically, they got a tight ends coach, which is a great recruiter, and Tim Brewster. They still got one of the best recruiters, basically, that's coming from Texas A&M. I can't forget his name. What's his name? What's his name? Yeah. What's his name? Yeah, Nick Williams. He's coming over there, one of the best recruiters. I don't. I think they're taking Thurman. I'm not sure. I gotta get the list, but I know they got a lot of the coaches. I know Deion's taking the running back coach. I know Deion is taking. He got quite a few of a good black staff of coaches that's coming with
How
him too. So man,
how I'm hating
so
on Deion? What I say to
you
him?
is man.
How?
You said ain't nobody checking for Colorado, man. Ain't nobody
I'm
asked you
not.
if you was checking.
Look.
Ain't nobody
Hold on.
asked you if you was checking.
Come on,
Ain't nobody
start
asked you
crazy.
if you was checking for
Hold on. Let me
Colorado.
tell you. I'm not checking for them. I wasn't watching them before. So since Deion went over there, I gotta watch them. That's what you telling me.
Who
So that
said
means I'm
who
hating
said
on them.
who said that we want you to watch Colorado?
No, but
Nobody
you
did.
said based off of my opinion, I'm hating on them because I say I'm not checking for Colorado. I never watched them, so why would I watch them now?
All right, cool then.
That's
That's
Deion over there. That's what you
Shador
telling
coming
me.
over there.
Off the discussion of you, then since you ain't checking, then it's me and Flight gonna talk about Colorado then. Since you ain't checking for them.
No, I'm not checking for them. Like
All
I
right.
don't care if they win. I
Then me.
don't
All
care
right.
if they win or lose.
So flight. Let me get the all the coaches going to Colorado real quick for you.
Yo, can y'all hear me? It seemed like I had some technical difficulties. Murder, let me know if you're still there. Mackey Entertainment says, let's not compare Bama and JSU. Come on, people. Y'all ain't that dumb. I mean, I think that is a tough call to do, to compare them, because, Alabama's just such a powerhouse. I don't know why they
Hey,
were
flight.
doing
Can you
that.
still hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. You seem like you had some technical difficulties. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. Probably went out, but they got Sean Lewis on offense. Um, he's the offensive coordinator. They got Willie Tangent from Florida Atlantic. They also got David Kelly. Of course, they got Tim Brewster. They also got who's going basically coming from Jackson State. And they also got Bill O'Boyle from Kent State. Hello, can you hear me still?
I'm here with you. I hear everything you're saying.
All right, so they got what's his name? They got Charles Kelly. He's the safety. He's going to be the defensive coordinator and safeties coach, safety and DBs coach from Alabama. They got Andre Hart. He coming from Jackson State. They got Vincent Dancy. He's the head coach for Mississippi Valley State. They got Kevin Mathis, who's going to be a defensive back coach. He's from Jackson State. So they got a few coaches from Jackson State. Some from one from Alabama, and of course, Sean Lewis from Kent State. And Willie Tangent, that's a good one right there too. You know, he's a great recruiter, as well as, like I said, they got a recruiter. They got another recruiter from LSU, and of course they got Williams from Texas A&M. He's the one that got all them transfers to go to Texas A&M. All them basically 5-star recruits or top transfer players to transfer to Texas A&M. And he's the one that's doing that. And so he actually got a lot of transfers coming from a lot of places going to Colorado right now. So a lot of transfers, like that cornerback Denver Harris, who's a 5-star recruit that went to Texas A&M. He's actually taking his visit to Colorado this weekend. So there's a lot of players. There's basically a lot of 4-star, 5-star recruits that's actually in Colorado right now this weekend, actually basically doing their recruiting trip.
Yeah, so that's why I said that. What about the transfer portal?
Well, that's what I mean. The transfer portal is hot as jumper for them. So I mean, they got a lot of players coming in. Like I said, I think they got a 4-star running back from Alabama coming to visit. They got Denver Harris from Texas A&M visiting. They had I know they had basically Chambers from Florida Atlantic, who was a big time wide receiver, come and visit. You know, so they got the transfer from the 6'9" offensive tackle from Kent State coming to visit. So they got a lot of players that's coming to visit.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. That's what's at Colorado definitely is where to be in the powerhouse.
Whether it's official or because you got to understand, like, it's two types of players that's coming. You got the official visits, you know, which is the players that everyone knows is coming. Then you got the unofficials, where those are just getting invited under the radar, just going to show up. So you got the official visits and the unofficial visits, which they said basically based off of everything, they said it's supposed to be over 30 players is coming to visit this weekend.
That's a lot of players, and that's going to visit Jackson State or Colorado.
It's going to visit Colorado.
Yeah.
That's going to visit Colorado this weekend, man.
Yeah, so they're going to do that. So Deion, he going straight to Colorado after this, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know he got to, man. It would have been great. It would have been great for him to go there with a dub, but, I mean, you know, it's still Deion. Deion going to pull him over there.
Right. Yeah, that's messed up because they lost last year in the bowl game. Yeah. Last year they lost a Heartbreaker in that bowl game. Shout out Tony White. Beating teams from the SWAC is not the problem. Beating teams from the MEAC like today are more physical, bigger. JSU have to improve offense, defensive line. NCCU were just more physical. I seen that early. What do you think about the physicality, my guy? If you still, I know you have some technical difficulties when you get in, but that's for the physical.
Yeah, I'm still. I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier, man. Central was just more physical up front, man. I mean, they lost, man. I mean, and CE Bed-Stuy, man. Of course, man. It's like it's Georgia, man. Georgia versus Jackson State, and it's not the skilled players, dog. It's the big boys up front. Georgia's just more physical than everybody. The same thing with Michigan. Michigan was beating up everybody too because they're so physical up front. If you got quality offensive line, defensive line where you can control the line of scrimmage, that's what the game is won at. Because then basically you allow your linebackers and your defensive backs to do what they do. They don't have to cover as long because of that. And if you got a stout offensive line, that allows your running backs, which is why they had a running back. Michigan had a running back that was for the Heisman because of offensive line, and also why in the Ohio State game that quarterback went for basically 300 yards on Ohio State because of that stout offensive line. You know, and that's what showed up today for Central. Central had a better offensive line as well as defensive line today. And it showed up. Because Jackson State, although they could pass, they couldn't run the football. Could not run the football with Wilkerson. Wilkerson had him 1,000 yards this year. But they couldn't run it because of the offensive line.
You got a good point on that Wilkerson, yeah. People was talking about Jackson State couldn't run the ball tonight. Wilkerson been doing a good job all season.
Yep, and I agree with that, you know, but they couldn't run the football, man. And also, man, how the Colts lose that game, man?
That's a good question. You talking about the Vikings game?
Yes, sir, man. The Vikings just clinched the division with the biggest comeback ever, man. They came,
Wow.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of football on today. It's wild, man. What happened today with Jackson State? Definitely, Deion went out on a bummer, in my opinion. I think that it would have been lovely for him to just capture this title. Like I said, losing last year in the bowl game, it's like I think they wanted to leave with no doubt. But now when you're dealing with the MEAC conference, it's always going to be something that people make it always throw at them. They lost. It wasn't an undefeated season. Even though all week long it was keep the main thing the main thing, keep the main thing the main thing. It was all the right stuff to say. But it seemed like they just to no avail. They didn't get the job done, unfortunately. It sucks. I know Deion wanted to walk away with that win.
Yeah, I know he did, man. But I mean, that kind of stuff happens, man.
That stuff happens.
Yeah, man, that stuff happens, man. It's they drew up the right play, man. So it's just a matter of things didn't work out for him, and the defense didn't show up.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. This comeback was greater than the 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Are they talking about the Colts? Oh, they Colts led 33-0 at halftime. Wow. I haven't paid attention to that. Like I said, I was so locked in on this game, I totally forgot that the Vikings. It says Vikings overcome 33-point deficit to stun the Colts. 39-36 overtime. That was the largest comeback in NFL history that just happened today. Then I said, Shador was a beast, K-Dub. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how anybody could sit up here and crush Shador Sanders. Do you feel like these are the people that always wanted to crush him? The people that's coming out now? Because I just think it's wild to wait till after he lose to go after him like this. When he was electric in his performance, I could say if he looked bad. I mean, the man put on. He did what he was supposed to do. You can't account for a guy dropping a pass that was just dropped directly in your hands. I mean, you can't ask for a better pass than that. I mean, the shit dropped right in the man's hands. That's sad. I mean, that pass, people gonna be talking about that forever. I know that's gonna be the thing that people talk about. The JSU lose any players to the transfer portal. I'm not sure yet. Murgod, I don't know if when you get a chance, you can check to see that they lose anybody just yet. But I'm pretty sure the fallout is about to be ensued because you're gonna find out what's going on.
What's that?
He said, did Jackson State lose any players to the transfer portal?
I mean, yeah, they did. They lost a couple, but it was none of their starters. They did lose a couple to the transfer portal.
Yeah, Shadon Black Panther 11. Everybody hit the like button. Support Flight Sports TV. Hit us in the Cash App. We're trying to make this a great experience for you, consistently, bring the Jackson State content, HBCU content to you directly, so all donations, Cash Apps are greatly appreciated. I want to thank you all. Shout out Brad T, Tony White, and Black Panther. Along with everybody else that rolled up in the chat tonight. My man Basil Carpenter Jr., Brad T, K Dub, all of y'all, man. Love, man. This was a roller coaster night. Roller coaster. Better yet, roller coaster afternoon. This game came on real early. If you was on the West Coast, it came on the wake up. I mean, people got their money's worth early today, didn't they?
Hey, bad stop, man. We're not bringing. I'm a Falcons fan. Please don't bring up that 28-3, dog. I don't want to hear that. Gosh, man, nightmares, man. And then we got a rookie quarterback going into the game tomorrow against the Saints. Man, that's gonna be tough, man.
Yeah.
But I'd rather him than Mariota because Mariota is trash.
They just ridiculing Mariota, ain't they?
Man, I mean, he quit him. He quit on the team, man. That man literally quit on the team, dog. I mean, literally quit on the team, man. That's
I
crazy.
remember when Winston and Mariota was coming in, they was the talk of the town. They fell from grace badly.
Badly, man. 1 and 2 busts. I mean, Winston had more of a better career than Mariota. Mariota's just terrible, dog. I mean, poor mechanics, not a good decision maker. I mean, he can still run, but not an accurate passer. Can't do timing throws. Not a can't throw the ball. Can't throw the ball accurately past 20 yards down the field. I mean, he was actually the worst quarterback in the league when it comes to throwing the ball more than 20 yards downfield. The worst in the league.
Right. Well, I mean, what's his name said something that was important. He said, this guy said Travis Hunter in the Power Five, they're going to double him right there. How does Travis Hunter handle that in the double and Shador? What happens, in the next stage when that's not single coverage right there?
If they double him, then that means the other players got to step up. That's why you got other players that's supposed to be dogs in your team that pretty much step up, become eat up that defense. I mean, you can't just rely upon just one player. That's why you got to have multiple players on the team to do that. I mean, granted, it was Central dumb fault for not doubling Travis Hunter, but I mean, if he gets double team, he gets double team. You just you find a way to basically make somebody else make a play. Somebody else got to make a play. That's easy.
You're right. I mean, that's better. That's easier said than done.
I mean, yeah, easier said than done. But I mean, that's like, for example, we know that the best wide receiver on their team is the best athlete in their team is Travis Hunter. But what happened? Coleman stepped up, Hooker stepped up, and I've got number 4, but he made some key catches too. And number 86, the tight end, not 84, but 86, the tight end. So I mean, you got other players that stepped up and made some good catches. I mean, just like with any other team, you got to have other players who are going to step up and make some good catches.
Good point on that, man. Guys just got to step up, especially at that next level, man. Jackson State University, they felt they didn't get the job done, but they had an unbelievable season. They inspired,
The reason,
a lot of people. Yeah.
so Rhymes, the reason why they deferred because they thought their defense was going to stop them, but they should not have had that much confidence in their defense. They should have went ahead and took the ball and then allowed basically the defense to try to make a play, but their defense was not. They tried to put their faith in their defense, and it backfired on them, and that's what happened. The defense just didn't come to play. That's all it was.
I mean, I agree with that. Jackson State, man. So this was a bad fall for him, man. It seemed like no matter what, Jackson, even though the favor was going in NCU's favor, NCCU, it always felt like Jackson State was going to do something heroic and win it, no matter what. Don't you think?
I mean, they should have won. I mean, they should have. It should have been double overtime, but somebody can't catch.
That's what I'm saying. I think double overtime it changes everything. That's wild. I mean, their defense was so horrendous. It would have been good if they could have got a stop right there. But I mean, like I said, it's easier said than done. It's just wild, man. It's definitely not the way to
Nah,
go.
it ain't even about trying to make the quote unquote white boy the hero, man. They try to make a player a hero, a tight end a hero, and he just didn't make the play. That's all it was, man. A player just
So
did
was
not
it?
make a play.
So was there another move they could have went to? He could have just tried. He couldn't run it in. The defense closed on him.
I mean, no. I mean, he was wide open. I mean, he was more wide open than the other tight end that was dragging on the backside. I mean,
He was probably the most wide open all night.
the ball was literally the ball literally touched his hands.
It dropped right in his lap.
I mean, pretty much all you had to do was just catch it.
Right. It didn't go fast either. It shit was like a duck. It was just floating.
Yeah, man. Like he just didn't make the play. That's all it was.
You cannot make it out. Shit is crazy.
Because Rhymes, like I said, they tried to have faith in their defense to get and stop, and it backfired on them. That's all it was. It was just the wrong decision at that time because they thought they can get a stop on defense, or the defense felt like they was going to get a stop for them and show up. They didn't. That's why it backfired.
Yeah, man. Everybody, let me know. Were you happy that Jackson State lost today, or
Man, he
or
didn't.
because a lot of
Us in
people, I just
that.
want to know, are you happy that NCC lost? Or what's going on? Let me know your thoughts, man. Because like I said, let me know who's who. Because people ain't happy today, and people are happy. It seems like the fan base is divided. Those refs didn't call several penalties against JSU. You think JSU got some stuff away, or hopefully that's what you
I
was
mean,
getting?
I'm not gonna lie and say they didn't. I don't know what happened with that little play with Shador Sanders. Like, what was that, a timeout or
Yeah, I was
not?
about to say that they let that go.
They let that go. Like that should have like
If
that
that was
should
another team, they would have probably ran the
yeah,
clock
that
out.
was that should never happen. I mean, it was. I
They
mean,
should have
but
came
that's
back with
probably.
less minutes on the clock,
I mean, that's
less
really the
seconds.
only. I'll say that. And it was one play called a roughing. It was basically a roughing a penalty play that should have been called. That should have been called, but it wasn't called. So those really the two only players that really stand out to me.
So you think they was cutting him a break, especially with that timeout? They gave Shador a break because I mean they could have
I
easily
mean,
came back with less seconds on the clock.
it was a sneaky play. No one expected the tight end to sneak out.
Right. Man, it says some shout out Brad T. He says I'm from a MEAC school. Somebody has to lose. Love to JSU though. That's facts. That's the unfortunate thing about competition. Somebody got to lose.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, but it happens, man. It happens.
So where does both teams go from here?
I mean, JCU just gotta continue the tradition of being a top tier team in the SWAT. Hopefully, they can get over the hurdle, next year, and they can keep bring in some talent and get over the hurdle. Then basically, oh yeah, too, yeah, definitely the missed tackles. Tony White, the missed tackles is terrible today. JSU did not want to tackle today. But yeah, man, then basically Central, man, you just continue to ride that train, man. Continue working, continue grinding, man. Become the best team in that MEAC for years to come, man. That's what you got to do. Continue recruiting, bringing in good players, and be consistent, man. They got a good coach, man. So
Yeah, you can't listen. That's all the right ingredients to be successful. So what about TC? What about TC? What do you think he's gonna do?
I mean, I think TC will be a good coach for them. It's somebody they're familiar with, somebody from the Deion coaching tree, somebody that's gonna, bring that swagger, a great. And that's another thing too. What people don't realize, your head coach doesn't have to be the biggest X's and O's guy. You know, your head coach is not always a lot of times the best X's and O's guy. The head coach, he knows stuff, but he doesn't have to be the best. That's what you got coordinators for. That's what your offense and defensive coordinators are for. You know, it's like it's rare that you see head coaches that sit there and call the plays, that call all the plays and manage the team at the same time. The one that does all that is offensive coordinator. It's only a few in the NFL that do that, like Kyle Shanahan, Arthur Smith. It's only a few that do that. So let's get that out of the way first. But Deion, he's a great motivator, and he passed that along to TC, who's going to do the same thing. I think TC is going to do a good job.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pick up where they left off, man. I think they're gonna be successful no matter what they get. You think it's gonna be that big of a talent discrepancy between now and next year?
Hate to say it, but it probably might be due to the fact that TC, he probably can be a good recruiter, but Deion is it's just Deion Sanders. The name sells itself. Players, 4-star, 5-star players are canceling trips to go other places to go to Colorado to meet Deion Sanders. That's how much his name carries.
Right. So Dion gonna make sure he get a visit at the very least.
Yeah. That's all. if Deion, just like that 4-star recruit that was committed to Notre Dame, if Deion can get you there to Colorado, he can flip you.
Yeah, basically. I see that. So, do you think Nick Saban was threatened by him?
Man, I think all of college football is going to be threatened by him, man, because he's going to be able to flip players. He's going to be able to flip players, man, whether they go in Alabama, LSU, everything. It's Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders has more pull in the NFL than anybody of these coaches out here. Because not only has he played, he's a Hall of Fame player. He's a top 100 player in the NFL. Not only that, but also too as well. He did media. He knows a lot of these coaches, all that stuff. So he's got pull to be able to get players, to the league, to get coaches to look at, to get film out there on them, so coaches can take a look, so NFL teams take a look at them. Deion's going to be able to do all that, including he's got players and coaches on this team that have not just plenty of college experience, but also some of them have NFL experience. So Deion's going to be able to do his thing, man. Deion's going. I think I think Deion's going to do much better than a lot of people expecting to his first year. Now, is he going to win the conference this first year? I don't know. There's a chance. I don't know if he'll do that. But I think he ain't going to have a slouch year. I think he'll have a pretty good year going to Colorado. But the years after that, especially when USC and UCLA leave, boom. Then they're going to be able to really take over the pack. Then there has been talks about Colorado going to the Big 12, back to the Big 12. So it's going to be talks about that too.
Right, you're right about that. So it's going to be crazy. Salute to all y'all in the building right now. Brad T, all y'all. Alan Hudson says no excuses getting off the buses. NCCU wanted it so much more. All right, good point. Yeah, they definitely look like it. So it's messed up, man. Jackson State couldn't get the job done, man, because I know that was the plan. It is what it is at the end of the day, right? It'll work itself out. Shador Sanders definitely got a lot of bright spots in his future. I think Stevie Wonder could see that. Just because it didn't go as scheduled as planned today, that's not no knock on him as a player. He just gotta, like I said, it is what it is. Even at the next level, I expect him to dominate as well. Maybe it might not look like this, but with the adequate protection, I think the sky's the limit for Shador Sanders. And Deion, like I said, what defense he hasn't seen before. So it's crazy. And they went to Colorado, so that's not the ideal school, that people would have envisioned, this team to be going to. This team and Deion, Shador, obviously you see what's going on with Travis Hunter. If there's any indication, but after this game, Travis Hunter is a lock to go with Deion. So that's not the ideal team that you would think would be tagging up to go to Colorado, don't you think?
Yeah, man, that'd be an ideal duo, man. Like I'm looking at players now. They got a Beckham Kritza. He's a number 3 passer in his class. He getting a visit now. He's a top 2025 quarterback. They got a top 2024 defensive lineman that's taking a visit right now. They also got basically another defensive lineman, Aiden Berland, who got an offer. He's taking a look now. And then they got a top edge rusher from Utah, who's a 4-star, a top 100 player. He's taking a look. He's taking a look right now. He's actually on campus right now, from what they say. So Deion's getting looks from players, man.
No, you're right about that. You're definitely getting some looks from players.
And then basically Jacob Page, who's a 4-star wide receiver. He was just there at Colorado this week and said the visit there was really good. So, man, they're going to pull in some players, man.
Yeah, man, I think so, man. My humble opinion, man. It's gonna be a long, off season, and it's gonna be a lot to sort itself out. But like I said, JSU, I definitely think is gonna remain, a top team. It's not like the locker room, the facilities are all going to. They definitely upgraded this whole football program at Jackson State. Don't you agree?
You said what? You said what flight?
I said it's not like the facilities are going anywhere. The locker room, and everything that they've upgraded since Deion Sanders' arrival. Don't you think players would still want to come to a world-class facility? I mean, I don't know if it's world-class, but it's better than it was before. It is definitely much more
I mean,
worthy. You got
I
Under
mean, you
Armour
know,
involved. I'm sure Under Armour will still be a part of that. Keep going.
yeah, I mean, I still think players are going to come to Jackson State. Now, the top talent, I don't know because it's Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders' name, like I said, it's a label by itself. It brings players like Travis Hunter there. So, so in a sense, they can still get some top players because that recognition in primetime coaching and TC, who's a great recruiter too, be able to get some good players. But overall, man, overall, a lot of those players went there because of Deion Sanders. Just to be honest with you, man. Which is why you see so many players going to Colorado right now. They're going there because of Deion Sanders.
Shout out 36 Tassin. He says, what about JSU? So those 4 or 5 star players likely won't even consider school like JSU since Deion was the driving force with recruiting. Can JSU maintain its success and fill the stadium? I don't know. What you think about that, Mergon?
They can. All they think they could do is just continue that energy, keep that same energy, keep that same vibe going. Do your best to recruit them. But like I said, it's difficult to do that when Deion Sanders is not there because a lot of players came to play for Deion Sanders because he's such a great motivator. He's such a great man to be around for those young kids. They love talking to him. They love being around him. They love getting motivated by him. So, and I think that's what's going to happen. With Colorado, that's why they pull in so much talent. So, so I don't think basically as far as each comparison, of course, Colorado is going to bring in more better talent in JSU because of that. Because it's Deion Sanders, man. That doesn't mean they still can't get good talent, but I don't think they're going to get the top of the line like they got this past recruiting class.
Right.
But they can still get like I said, man, they can still get talent. Regardless, they can still get talent there. But getting those 4 or 5 stars is going to be a lot more difficult because Deion's not there. That's your driving force.
Right. Brad T says NCCU might get some good looks due to the win. But what do you think about that? That's possible.
That's possible. That's possible, but even still, it's like I think HBC as a whole did a great. I think Deion did a great job at HBC as a whole, put them on the map. Yeah, NCCU might get some better recruits for winning, but still, no one ever heard of that coach until now, known as the coach that beat Deion Sanders. That's what he's known as now. No offense to him because they played a great game, they beat him, but he's known as a coach that beat Deion Sanders. Like everyone knows Deion Sanders. We didn't really know about this coach, and it's sad to say because he's a good coach. But that's the point of that. Deion Sanders' name is a brand, and he's going to get recruits just to come there because it's Deion Sanders.
I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. You're right about that. Recruits are definitely going to come. Now, Deion Sanders was a major name. And like I said, it just is wild, just to say the least. Underscore says JSU not winning no championship, bro. Let's be realistic. I don't know.
I don't know about that now. They could still win one. Sure, they won it. If they can win the SWAT, they can win a ring.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Sure.
listen.
I'm on
Yeah.
the Colorado football page on IG, boy. They pulling out all the stuff. They got a Bentley in there. They got a Lambo in there and everything.
For what?
For the recruits.
Oh. So we mean he gonna give it to them?
No, he ain't gonna give it to them. They're gonna be taking pictures, doing all that kind of stuff. You know how they take pictures, getting the uniforms and everything.
Yeah.
All that stuff right there. Yeah, that's what they doing.
Yeah, I know that they're getting it ready. They're trying to get Colorado like it's jumping. Hey man, look what he did to Mississippi, man. So I know he's gonna definitely do something in Colorado. So let's see what happens. But man, this was an amazing conversation tonight, man. That could go on for days. We're gonna get ready to shut down, man. This was a hell of a post game to rock with you, my God. Everybody
No
hit
doubt,
the
man.
subscribe button, hit the like button. Everybody support us in the Cash App so we can continue to make amazing live streams and great content to the people. I want to appreciate all y'all. Love y'all. It's Flight Sports.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.